Well, hello, John.
Good
Welcome to our
morning.
podcast.
Good morning. Good morning. Glad to be here.
How are you today? The weather's just amazing.
Weather's fantastic. Beautiful day. Almost sad to be inside at the moment.
I know, I hear you. And I actually was like fall weather today, jeans, took the dogs
Mhm.
for a walk. So, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time. We just are so grateful for our partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And, I remember when I first met Kathy and just learned about everything you were doing in the community. And she said, how can you help us with the benefits? That's a big
Yeah.
anxiety of mine. And it was just a win-win all around. And I think we brought you guys on as a client during COVID, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just wanted to spend some time with you today just to talk about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, what you're doing in our community. And, I think a lot of people even want to know how, if I wanted to become a Big Brother, Big Sister, how does that happen? So, share
Sure.
away.
Well, so a lot of folks, when they think of Big Brothers Big Sisters, they know that it's a one-on-one, or they know that it's some type of mentoring, but they really don't know the options or how to get involved. And so one of the things that we pride ourselves on is our ability to influence kids from really starting around third, fourth grade all the way through high school. And when you think about the impact that you can make on a child's life, whether it's an hour a week or over 5, 6, 7 years, it doesn't take a lot to change a kid's life. It really doesn't. In fact, the biggest hurdle is committing to say, you know what, I want to be a part of this, right? So the number one question I get all the time is, how much time does it take? Is it, there seems to be this thought out there that it's just going to consume their life, and the reality is, hey, it's not going to. We ask that all bigs commit to roughly around an average of about an hour a week, and there's two ways you can do that. You can do that through our site-based mentoring or our community-based. So site-based could be, hey, we've got the organization has predetermined locations where you can go, you meet your child. So whether it's at school or an after-school site, you go, you hang out with them, you spend an hour with them, and you invest in their life.
Yeah.
Or in the community-based, you work with the family, you work with our team, both bigs with both mentoring styles, work with our team. What they'll do is they'll call the kid and they'll say, hey, look, maybe we're going to go to a soccer game, or we're going to go see the Reds play, or maybe we got some Bengals tickets this week, we're going to go do that. Or I heard a story just the other day about a big who'd been matched with his kid since he was, I want to say, sixth grade, and he was graduating. They did a college visit together. He drove him to college on his first day of school.
Wow.
So it becomes much more than just that. They really become a part of your life. And the reality is it's your life, the big's life, that's changed just as much or sometimes more than the little.
That's what I was going to say. It has to be so rewarding for those that take that leap to do that and work with them and spend the time with them. I mean, there's just so much need. I know that I actually talked to Kathy about trying to put that on my list for next year, to do. And my kids are gone, and I'm like, okay, I definitely have the time, to give back and do that. So I really appreciate that. And then do you guys have any upcoming like community events? So let's just say someone wants to support Big Brothers, Big Sisters, not quite in the way of, partnering with one of the kids, but what are other ways people in the community can get involved and support you?
Yeah. So obviously, like any nonprofit, right, funding is extremely important. And sometimes often I ask this question. I'll say, what's more valuable to you, your time or your money? And people always say time.
Mm-hmm.
But yet it seems to be easier to ask for them to volunteer their time than their money. And so, for us to achieve our work, to connect others to our mission, and to really impact a kid's life, we need both. Right. And so, I've got some things written down later this year, October 25th. We have our big breakfast at the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. So we're excited about that. We have 2 tables left for sponsorships.
Okay.
And then later in the year as well, we have our Bowl for Kids' Sake. And that's a scaled down version where folks at their work can get 5 or 6 of their friends, donate some money, come show up and bowl and have a great time to support.
We're actually, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, we're actually doing that. And it's funny, people around here, you got to find the perfect thing they want to do. And that was widely accepted. So we're going to be there for that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so those are a couple of our big events. Annually we have a golf tournaments in the spring if people want to get involved. But the reality is gifts and volunteerism is extremely important for us if they want to get involved.
So any new initiatives coming up in 2023 that you can share? Or
let's say that we are always working at being innovative, right? So if we want to continue to be the trendsetter on how we do one-on-one mentoring, or how do we engage youth in an ever-changing world, and we know in the last 2-3 years our world has changed pretty drastically. I mean, we are sitting here online in this interesting platform doing an interview.
Right.
We wouldn't have thought of this 3 years ago. And so as we look to the future, we are constantly trying to identify new ways that we impact kids, whether it's going to be vocation mentoring, helping kids after they graduate high school. What does that look like to help them on the next stage of life? Typically around 18, kid graduates high school. They're not out of our program, but some certain services stop after they become an adult. When you think of big brother, big sisters to littles, but we know that the need is so much greater, right? If we want to talk about some of our stats, which is 99% of our kids graduate high school, 99% of our kids in our program stay out of the juvenile correctional system. 99% of our kids do not become juvenile parents. There's some key statistics that we deliver in our program. But we all know that life doesn't stop at 18.
Right.
We know that life happens. So what is our responsibility in partnership with other agencies around the city to ensure that we are continuing our mission, which is the defenders of potential, right? That's how we see our role. And so we're excited about some things that we're working on now to launch in the coming year.
Yeah. And, you're right. That's so important, as a mother of 2 in their 20s, right? I remember when they were in high school thinking, oh my gosh, when they're in their 20s, the world's different now. And there's so many stressors and so many influences that continue on. So being able to help bridge, from 18 to semi-adulting to adulting, I think is critical. What are some of the agencies that you guys partner with that kind of help fill some of those gaps even now before new things come?
Well, that's a good question. And off the top of my head, I don't have those listed. Here's what I will tell you, that there are wonderful agencies across the city that do different things. We're still trying to identify what is that one-on-one. That's what makes us special, is this one-on-one. Yeah. But one of the things I want to touch on in your earlier point was is think about your children. Right. They had a mom who, and I don't know the whole situation, but they had parents, they had loved ones, they have a community that was showing up and supporting their development.
Right.
Oftentimes we're working with youth at a very young age all the way through high school where they don't have that. Their home life is going to look different. And so the life challenges that you referred to are relevant to all of our youth as they grow older, but some start from a different advantage point. Right. And so our youth some of them don't have those skills and the home setting that's going to be conducive for them to grow and be adults in an ever-changing world.
You're right. They just don't. It's just crazy. So I'm so grateful that we have you guys in our Cincinnati community and that you're helping the youth. We look forward here at Strategic just continuing to get more involved with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, as a group, and start working with some of our team to get involved as well. And I really appreciate your time today. If I don't see you before, I'll probably see you at the bowling event.
You'll see me at the bowling event.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. All right. Well, have a wonderful day and enjoy the weather.
You do. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Bye-bye.